you hear that? Got a very eerie feel to it round here. Islanders, wildlings, welcome back to another video. So yeah, we're back out in the forest. Now normally I'd say this is my place to relax, etc., but this particular woodland area, it's got a bit of a feel about it. I don't know any stories, full disclosure, I'm not going to make any up or anything like that, but every time I'm in here with the dogs, it just feels weird, different. So I thought, you know what, let's come in here and do an overnighter. I did promise a few spooky style videos. I've done a couple to date. The burial one by the World War II site with the 12 graves and the haunted forest. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'm on the fence, like I say, I'm not a big believer. Probably shouldn't say stuff like that when you're in here on your own, but I haven't got my dog with me tonight, so I am completely alone. And I'm Billy Big Balls right now, but probably later on when it gets dark, start hearing weird noises, I'll probably start shitting myself. I put out on all the socials, would you guys want me to camp in this time? Tent, hammock, and you all came back fairly resounding with tarp. So this is it. I'm gonna rock a DD tarp, hoping for a plough point. We'll see. Let's get to it. We are inside. Quick sleep system trekology. Survived the last camp. Turns out it was just a tiny little nick. I've repaired that. Got the folding 3FUL mat. I've got an Alp kit, Hunker waterproof bivvy, and in here I've got all my down gear, including my Everest Extreme down winter sleeping bag and British Army softies, down boots, the lot. So I won't be cold. Food then. Right, first things first, how am I cooking it? This little bad boy, BCB folding solid fuel stove, as issued to the military. This is actually the company who do have the contract for the Ministry of Defence. Kudos to those guys. So that is the fuel in there. I've just got a little Trangia pot for boiling water. You can eat these hot or cold, so if your stove fails, I mean that stove costs £2, but it can't fail, it's pretty bomb proof. These are the best ever, so I've got that, just a little oat bar or something. And I love coffee, so this is the stuff I'm on. Contact Coffee, Black Ops, single origin Ethiopian, will blow your head off. Welcome to the kitchen. So here it is, BCB folding stove. Fold it up to whichever desired setting you want. I've got solid fuel in there already. Storm matches, you just never know. So once these get going, they'll be good for probably about 9 minutes. Got this little wind director thing so you can block it if the wind's coming from, say, this direction. I'll put it here. Looks good to me. Quite happy with that. It's not going to fall over. Just move my blade out of the way. It's not a jet boil. But you know what, sometimes you just don't want to hear something like a jet engine going off while you're out in the wild. It's not pretty, but it'll do. No one cares, these matches are BCB as well. Striker on the bottom and on the side, it's really good. Shout out to Prepared Pathfinder. Cheers for the patch, buddy. Right, so here we are, we're set up. So we're on the corner here of this ruin or whatever it is. I don't know if you can see. Down here, fairly steep drop. Don't know what wildlife we're getting here, to be fair. Don't know if any of you noticed the other day, but I got YouTube put me as creator on the rise of the day for the United Kingdom, so I featured on the Explore tab for 24 hours. It's pretty good chuck up, isn't it, for just making a few videos in the forest and looking for sharks. It's not bad. The other side, like I say, it's not perfect, but you work with what you got, don't you? This is probably about as challenging a drone takeoff site as you can imagine. Trees, branches everywhere. I'll give it a go. So I'm fairly caffeinated right now, which means I'm highly probable to start talking shit and rambling on. But I just stood on one of my glow sticks earlier on, and it got me thinking. I was chuckling to myself. There was a time when a few more experienced guys than me talked me into drinking a glow stick. They said your piss would turn fluorescent. Anyway, I did, and it was the most minging thing I think I've ever tasted. It was like putting a 9-volt battery in a blender and drinking it. And 5 grown men standing around me as I went to piss in the dark. Anyway, nothing happened. One of them was mega surprised. It turns out I drank a non-toxic one, and he was like, "Oh mate, you should have drank a toxic one. That would have worked." Now he's ex-forces, and I believe it's something they might have tried in Afghanistan, or he was taking the piss out of me, I'm not sure. But I was a younger man back then, more gullible. But anyway, don't drink glow sticks. It doesn't work. Oh, top tip by the way, if you do have a glow stick, I get the Siloom ones from, I don't know, Amazon or any sort of army surplus store. And if you're like me, you like going paddleboarding at sunset or kayaking or mountaineering, whatever, and you find yourself in the shit, if you need to attract attention to yourself in the dark, have it to about 4 foot of paracord and just wave it around your head. You won't believe the light that thing shows off. Don't drink coffee this late or you start talking absolute bollocks. Starting to get dark now. Wind's picking up. I feel quite protected in here, to be honest. I've not heard anything go peep yet. Nothing. All very quiet. There hasn't been a soul through here, but then I don't expect there to be. If you guys got any haunted camps or any spooky stories, put them in the comments. I do like reading them. Can you hear that? You can pick up, it is dark, but a million crows flying around. That's pretty spooky, isn't it? Anyway, I had a couple more coffees, which I shouldn't have done, but I'm sitting in a forest, in a tarp. I pretty much can't see a thing now. I don't know if you can see. I've got the light on, but other than all the bloody birds. In the chair, had to resort to sticking the British Army softies underneath. I was getting a really cold back end, and I don't want piles or hemorrhoids, whatever you call them. But anyway, I digress. Shout out to a subscriber, Jonathan Collier, who commented saying that my videos are inspiring him and his wife or partner to consider going wild camping. Nice one. I tell you what, everybody wild camps for different reasons, and you don't have to make videos about it. I just find the creative element of it really good for my mental health. Jonathan, I hope you do a camp. Let us know. That'd be great. I had a shocker with the drone earlier on. I clipped a bridge with it. Now I wasn't actually recording at the time, I was just I was just messing around trying to get a cinematic shot. But she's all right. I think it's the 3rd or 4th time I've crashed it now. 2 were pretty bad send away jobs, so I'm probably gonna have to get a new drone at some point. Interestingly, by the way, the first pretty much half of this video was filmed pretty much all with an iPhone. It's amazing what you can do these days. Spent a fortune on camera gear in the past, and a smartphone does the job. So yeah, provided I don't get attacked by 6,000 crows in the next hour and a half, I'm not having any more coffees, because my eyeballs are already looking a bit crazy. But yeah, I'll just enjoy the view. Put my lights on. Hope for the best. Crows are still going. How spooky is this? Go on then, would you camp out here? Is this spooky enough? Snapped in a storm, I think. Decent drop off down there. Bear that one in mind if I need to take a leak in the night. There we go, boys. I'm sort of the other side of that. This is the other side. Don't know what an ear was ever used for. I've got all my gear in now. Everything should be protected. I've put most of my camera gear in the dry bags. The birds have stopped now. I went for a walk around before and they were still going crazy. It was proper eerie. But yeah, not heard a thing. Other than that, there's not been anybody. Just realised I forgot the wildlife camera. I was going to deploy that, but I left it in the van. I was too eager. I hope I brought my earplugs. I've yet to find them. So what sort of things do people do when they're camping at night in the winter, when there's like a good 12 hours of darkness sometimes? For me, I've got 2 young kids, so I do like to, I don't always get to watch what I want on the TV, so I've got Netflix on my on an iPad, which I bring. Sometimes I just download and watch on there. I know that might not be...
No! God, please, no!
...for the purists out there, but you know, each to their own. If anything goes kicking off in the night, I've got my GoPro right next to me, it's waterproof. I'll be sure to film it. 10-4, rubber duck, see you in the morning. There we go, guys, all packed up, leave no trace. Well, not the night I was expecting, to be honest. I normally have absolutely no problem sleeping, but I just couldn't sleep. I did sleep, but it wasn't great, and it was quite quiet. It wasn't, yeah, the wind picked up, it rained a little, but it wasn't the weather I was expecting. No spookiness to talk about. I just still feel a bit strange in here. It still feels a bit, I don't know, uneasy. Now that might all be in my head, but certainly in other places I camp no problem. I don't think about anything, but in here, around this little area where I always felt a bit strange anyway, yeah, weird one. So guys, I'm going to look to make my way through here, shoot off. But before I do, what I will say is, I was cold last night. The sleeping bag was fine, but I only had that little folding mat underneath me, and it wasn't enough insulation. So I should have brought my thermarest, but my thermarest is broken at the moment. So I have ordered a Climate Static V insulated mat. It's big, it's quite a wide one, because I sleep on my side, but it's about 1/3 of the price of the thermarest, so I'll compare that, to be fair. Any locals, by the way, this is not Groudle Glen. You saw me in Groudle Glen earlier on, this is not Groudle Glen, in case you're ever looking for this spot. It was a good one all the same, and I'll think of something for the next adventure. Have a great weekend, or week, whenever I post this, And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take it easy.